operations still ongoing at Seasons in Kasarani, where a 7-story building under construction collapsed this afternoon. Let's now bring in Mary Moki, who's been on the ground for a couple of hours now. She joins us with the latest. Mary, many thanks for giving us or speaking with us this evening. First things first, what's the latest that you can tell us tonight regarding the search and rescue operations there?
Hi, Wahiga. For now, rescue operations are still going on. This building sank, or rather collapsed at around 1:30 this afternoon, and it took the rescue operation around 6 hours to get on the ground because the first person to climb atop the collapsed building climbed at around 7 p.m., which is about 6 hours. What we have now is a building that was still under construction. We've spoken to a few of the workers that were part of the construction, but who wouldn't agree to be recorded on camera, and they're saying that they had concerns even as construction was going on. They're saying that some of the steel or metal they used was D12 instead of the required D32 for a building of this magnitude. Earlier on, when it was still light, we could see that the building had two wings. It's one wing that sank in and collapsed. The other wing is still upright, though a bit shady, rather a bit shaky. It doesn't look so steady. Earlier witnesses that we spoke to earlier on tell us that immediately the building went down, those that were trapped inside were still making phone calls asking for help, and others could be heard screaming. But from the time we arrived on site, we've not had any of those trapped inside calling or making any sounds. We've tried to speak to the police or someone from the Kenya Red Cross. They've declined to speak to the media for now. And Wahiga, this comes barely 2 months after the building in Karigiti in Nairobi County that collapsed on the 22nd of September. Still within this area. It's not very far from here. It's just several kilometers from where we are. And for now, no one has been pulled from the rubble yet. We had the excavator pushing away rubble a couple of minutes earlier, but they've stopped for now. We are told that they are concerned that they may be harming or hurting those that are still trapped inside. So they've stopped for now. They're waiting directions from their supervisor here on site. They have concerns that if it starts raining, it may just hamper the rescue efforts and make it a bit more difficult. So for now, that's all we've got from this end. I'll leave you with these sound bites from witnesses we spoke to earlier.
Kidogo kidogo nikaona maambulance. Kidogo kidogo nikaona gari ya polisi. Mtu wa kwanza kukuta hapa alikuwa Kajo na OCS. Unaona? Sasa since saa 8 ni kuangaliana wakitufukuza, na hapa kuna watu walikuwa hai kwa ile nyumba ndani, wengine wakilia tuokoeni, wakipiga simu. Unaona?
Naona hapo mbele kuna watu zaidi ya 4 hapo mbele hapo. Hii mahali imeanguka hapo.
Watu wako hapo ndani wengi sana. Unaona? Kama huyo mtu hatui kufanya kazi, mwingine apewe hiyo kazi afanyange. Juu sasa ona ni ambulance yako hapa amesimama hapo. Nani anachukua? Nani ako nayo?
Very worrying situation there indeed, and even more worrying bearing in mind it should be the third building that's gone down in the last couple of months. Mary, I don't know if you got a chance to speak to any of those who are working on the construction site, because this was a building under construction. Have you managed to speak to any of them?
Yes, we've managed to speak to them, and we spoke to one gentleman earlier, and he said other than the concerns they had for the material that were being used, the building didn't exactly have time to dry before they put another course on top. And he reckons that that could have been one of the reasons that maybe the building collapsed. Remember, it was still under construction. The workers that we had on site were doing some plumbing work, and they were doing some electrical, and some others were doing painting. We are told that we had a Mama Pima who was hawking food inside. She's still trapped inside. For now, it's a multi-sector sectoral approach to rescue those that have been trapped inside. Unfortunately, no one has been rescued from the rubble yet. The team here is hopeful that before the night advances or progresses, they're going to be able to pull out survivors. We have 5 people who've been rescued from the building. Those were not trapped inside the rubble. They saw the building gone down and they jumped to the adjacent building, and that's how they were taken to safety. Wahiga.
Well, thank you, Mary, for the update. We'll come back to you should there be more new information on the search and rescue operations that are going on as we